Good morning, beautiful person. Greetings from snowy Winnipeg, and there is fresh snow everywhere, probably covering up ice. So hopefully you will not get to see me slip in real time. But yeah, that's the joys of live video, isn't it? So yeah, what do you do when you're triggered? That is a question that I have found myself dealing with the last day or so. So I thought I would share it with you and see what you think. So my name is Hadassah Vitar. I am a life coach and a wellness advocate, and I help beautiful people like you choose life. And what do I mean by that? My mother passed away at the age of 69 from complications of diabetes, and she never got to see my kids grow up. And it wasn't because she didn't know how to take care of herself, because of course she did. We all do. But she had other priorities until it was too late. And I don't want that to happen to me. And I don't want that to happen to you. And that's why I'm here talking to you most days. Not all days, but many days. Ooh, sun. What joy. Well, the sun is a good thing. Don't get me wrong, but it's in my eyes right now. It's all perfect, as my friend Susan Sly says. So, triggers. What is a trigger? So a trigger, aside from being a thing that you pull to shoot things, is when something happens that might seem perfectly innocuous, and all of a sudden all sorts of deep feelings from your past come up, and you find yourself completely overreacting to something that really looked at, when it's looked at objectively, doesn't really warrant that sort of reaction. So that's a trigger, because you think you have things under control and you think you're all good, and whatever trauma was in your past, you're good, you figured it out, you're kind of just going along with your life, and all of a sudden something happens and you are suddenly 7 years old again and reacting like a 7-year-old. So triggers are a thing, it takes time and work to really get them down to where they don't happen. So if you are a human, then I'm going to assume that you have some triggers somewhere. If you think you don't, then you're probably extremely blessed, because you've never had any trauma in your life, or you are incredibly developed and have controlled all of your triggers, or you are seriously in denial. That, by the way, was me up until not too long ago. So, yeah, I think I can say that because, I was totally in denial. I didn't think I had any triggers until I did. So, given that triggers are going to happen, and basically, I don't mind sharing with you what mine was. I have an issue with feeling left out of things. And it's really stupid, because I'm a grown-ass woman. I don't have to be part of everything. But for whatever reason, if because of choices that I have made as a grown-ass woman, something isn't going to happen for me, or even if it's not because of my choices, but because of just something that I went into with my eyes open. So in a sense, it was my choice. And all of a sudden, it's like, okay, we're all doing this thing, and I'm not, because of choices that I have made or a situation that I chose to put myself in. Then all of a sudden, I am that little girl on the outside of the circle, feeling like nobody loves her. And it's really stupid, but it's still there. And and just because my grown-up objective mind says, well, that's stupid, it's really, really important to acknowledge that the feelings are real, even if, if you look at them from the outside, you're going to say to yourself, well, that's stupid, that's ridiculous. I shouldn't feel that way. Okay, now if you are shoulding or shouldn'ting all over yourself with regards to your feelings, then you need to stop that right now, okay? Because there is no should where your feelings are concerned. It doesn't matter if the trigger, if the circumstance seems really, really small and petty. That's not the point. That's why it's called a trigger. Okay, on a gun, a trigger is just a tiny little piece of metal, but it sets things in motion that can very likely result in somebody dying. And they didn't die because of that little piece of metal. They died because of everything it set in motion, which in that case was actually shooting a bullet or whatever. I'm not very knowledgeable about guns. But you have to understand that you are probably going to get triggered at some times in your life. So the question isn't to, well, should I beat myself up about this? Should I call myself names? Should I tell myself I'm stupid because I'm reacting in this way to something innocuous that's really not a big deal looked at objectively? Maybe it's an event that I don't even need. Maybe it's something I don't need to do. Maybe it's something I don't even particularly want to do. But it doesn't matter. The fact that I didn't get to decide whether I was going to be part of it is just triggering all sorts of things that came from my childhood, from being in an academic family that lived in different places. If you are a military brat or a faculty brat like me, you may be able to resonate with this. The point is, for whatever reason, something happened when you were a kid, and now whenever you encounter something seemingly innocuous, you react emotionally just like that untrammeled 7-year-old. So the question is, what do you do about it? So, like I said, the first thing that you do is a negative, if you will. It's what you don't do. You don't beat yourself up. You don't call yourself names. You don't shove it down and pretend it didn't happen. First of all, you take a compassionate look at yourself. You say, okay, this triggered me. Why? Where does it come from? You do some introspection. If you're lucky and you have an amazing coach like I do, maybe you bring it to them. Maybe I would also strongly recommend a book called The Big Leap by Gay Hendricks. You can get it in written form, or lately I've been really enjoying the audiobook because he actually reads it himself and he sounds exactly like I thought he would, and that is just so cool. He talks about these things. I don't think he actually uses the word trigger because I think that book is a little older, and I don't think the word trigger was as much in use back then, but it doesn't matter. He's talking about the phenomenon of things coming up when you didn't expect them to. So I would definitely recommend that book. I would recommend talking to a coach, and if it's really bad, really overwhelming, talk with a therapist, and just be compassionate with yourself. So I hope this was helpful. If you do find it helpful, please do the things that the social media platforms like, share, comment, whatever it is that you would like to do. I would be greatly appreciative of that. Of course, if you don't want to, then just don't. That's totally fine. That does not trigger me. So if you like this kind of thing, I have a PDF in which I have collected various things that are helpful in reducing stress in this difficult time. So if you would like that, drop me a message, and stay safe and healthy, safe and wealthy, whatever. Stay safe and healthy. Remember, I love you. Talk to you again soon. Bye.